Hi. Movie Express recap here. Today, I'm going to explain an action and sci-fi film called Ghost in Shell. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In the near future, humans have become enhanced with cybernetic upgrades. Hanka Robotics Corporation is the top company in this type of technology, and is on the verge of developing a new kind of cyborg that uses a human brain to function. A woman named Mira Killian is being taken into Hanka after an accident. Her brain is placed into the body of a cyborg that greatly enhances her strength and agility. Once the process is complete, her designer, Dr. Ulit, speaks to Hanka Robotics CEO Cutter. Cutter wants to place Mira in Section 9, an anti-terrorism division, but Ulit feels she is not ready for something like that. 1 year later, Mira is now known as the Major. She is on the roof of a building listening in on a meeting between Hanka representative Dr. Osmond and an African ambassador. The Major receives her orders from Section 9 Chief Daisuke Aramaki, and works alongside Bato and Ladria. In the conference, several geisha bots start to attack the people in the room, leading the Major to spring into action, against Aramaki's orders. She goes invisible and jumps off the roof before swinging into the room, and she starts shooting the geisha bots. One of the geisha bots hacks into Dr. Osmond's neck and kills him before the Major gets to it. The geisha bot says cooperate with Hanka Robotics and be destroyed. The Major shoots her in the head. The Section 9 team meets with Aramaki to discuss the attack. They learn that the geisha bots were hacked from a mysterious source, also uttering the same phrase that the geisha bot said to the Major. The rest of the team leaves, but Aramaki talks to the Major about her move by jumping into the room. Aramaki informs her that she still has her soul within her cyborg body. The Major and Bato are driving around the city. She mentions what little memory she has of her past, which involves her family dying getting to the country. On the road, the Major sees a hallucination of a burning hut. The Major meets with Dr. Ulit frequently to repairs her body when it has been damaged. The Major has trouble remembering her past, only seeing brief glimpses and flashes. Ulit dismisses her hallucinations as glitches, but she is shown to care for the Major. The Major and Bato meet with Dr. Dahlin, Anna Maria Marinka, with the geisha bot body. The Major deep dives into the geisha bot's AI, to try and get more answers on the hacker. The Major finds herself walking through a club with distorted images. She is grabbed by the entity, forcing Bato to pull her out of the connection. The Major says she knows where to find the hacker. The Major and Bato go to a Yakuza nightclub with Ladria. The Major is pulled into a room by two men, who force her to dance while she is handcuffed to a pole, and is zapped by a cattle prod. The room also blocks any incoming or outgoing signals, thus losing communication with Bato. The Major then starts fighting the men in the room, kicking one out of the room and leading to a shootout that Bato engages in. He and the Major kill a number of hooligans before they head off to find the hacker. They run toward a room not realizing it's a trap. A bomb goes off, damaging the Major's body and causing Bato to go blind. Back at Dr. Ulit place, the Major's cybernetic body is repaired. Dr. Ulit finds out that the Major had violated her protocols, and expresses her concern towards her. Bato receives cybernetic eyes to replace his damaged ones. Meanwhile, Cutter meets with Aramaki with anger over the Major doing the deep dive. Aramaki warns Cutter who he is threatening, since Aramaki answers to the Prime Minister, not Hanka. The hacker finds Dr. Dahlin and poke her eyes before killing her. The Section 9 team finds her body, and the Major pulls a drive out of Dahlin's hand which contains names of other Hanka associates, including Ulit. It's a list of people who work on the Project 2571. They figure Dr. Ulit is the hacker's next target. The hacker controls two sanitation workers to ram their truck into Ulit's car. She survives, but the men step outside and demand her to tell them about Project 2571, threatening to shoot her. The Major and her partners arrive in time to shoot back at the men. One of the men escapes while being cloaked. She chases after him as he runs through a body of water. The Major pummels him while invisible until Bato shows up and stops her. The man is interrogated after the hacker's connection is severed. He tells them he is Lee, and he was on his way to pick up his daughter. The Major shows him a photo of what he sees as his daughter, but is really a picture of himself. They determine that the hacker placed fake memories in Lee's head. The hacker, whose name is learned to be Q's, then speaks through Lee to threaten Section 9 before making Lee jump to hang himself with the cable around his neck. Section 9 member Togusa traces the hacker's signal to a hidden location. They begin their siege at their hideout. Soon, the Major finds Q's as he is connected to a network with other humanoid cyborg bodies. On her way to search for Q's, she was assaulted by 3 assailants. They managed to take her down and tie her up in a chamber. Q's makes his appearance and reveals that he was a test subject of Honka's, but considered a failure and a freak on account of his deformed outcome. Q's lets her go and she starts attacking him. She stops and questions him, upon seeing a tattoo on his chest of the burning hut like in her hallucination. To which he says that he is having the same vision too, and that the medications they've been giving her have clouded her memories. Q says that Honka took control over their lives instead of saving them. Her teammate arrives to rescue her, but both Major and Q's escape. The Major confronts Ulit over the revelation. Ulit says that there were 98 failed experiments before the Major became the first successful one. Dr. Ulit finally reveals that they gave her false memories, to motivate her to fight terrorists. The Major appears angry even as Ulit tries to defend her position. Angered by the revelation, she storms off to take a bath with the jellyfish. Cutter interrogates Ulit. After he found out that the Major knows the truth, he dispatches a unit to bring her in. Cutter orders Ulit to terminate the Major on account of her being a liability, as they no longer can control her. As the Major undergoes the process, Ulit instead gives her an address so she can find answers for herself. Ulit allows the Major to escape, so Cutter shoots and kills Ulit in revenge. Cutter reports to Aramaki that the Major killed Ulit and that she must be terminated. The Major follows the address to what turns out to be her old home. Her mother is there, having believed that her daughter ran away and was killed. The Major's real name was Motoko Kusanagi. Her mother does sense a familiar look in the Major's eyes when she looks at her. As she leaves, the Major gets in contact with Aramaki, who informs her that Ulit is dead and that Cutter says she killed her, though they both know the truth. They allow Cutter to eavesdrop on their conversation as they plan their next move. Cutter sends his men to kill Section 9 members, but Bato, Togusa and Aramaki all survive and kill their attackers. The Major meets with Q's at a hideout, which resembles the burning hut. They learn that Q's real name was Hideo, and they were originally against augmentations with humans and cyborgs. Cutter sends a spider tank to kill the Major and Q's. The spider tank hits Q's and severely damages him. The Major leaps onto the back of the spider tank and tries to rip its back open. She uses all her strength, causing her arm to rip off as she annihilates the spider tank. Q's offers to merge his ghost with her, but she refuses and he fades out. One of Cutter's snipers rides in on a chopper and kills Q's. Aramaki sends his own man, Saito, to take down the sniper to save the Major. Bato recovers the Major, who is still alive. Aramaki then corners Cutter, after having spoken to the Prime Minister. Cutter is charged with Ulit's murder and crimes against the state. Aramaki contacts the Major and gets her consent to execute Cutter. He shoots Cutter 3 times as he falls into his own pool. The Major visits her own grave with her mother, who now knows her daughter is still with her. The Major's voiceover states that she knows there will be more like her, but she knows her enhancements do not define her. She then returns to work with Section 9 and leaps off a building to her next mission. If you like this story, subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell to get updated on more videos like this. Leave a like and comment. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.